some time has gone by. How would I compare Golden Conures and Cape Parrots? Now, Cape Parrots, there's actually 3 species, and here in the US we just call them Cape Parrots. Technically, they aren't Cape Parrots. They're really a mix between the other 2 species, which is the gray-hooded and I forget what. They all kind of look the same, so I call them Cape Parrots. So, what are the differences, and what can I point to you, or what direction can I point you in to kind of tell the difference in case these are 2 species you're interested in, because they are 2 of my very favorite species. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I have 22 species of parrots. I love parrots. They are my bliss, and I love helping you be blissful with your parrot as well. If you are not new to my channel, you've already subscribed, I hope, and already set your preferences on YouTube so that YouTube lets you know the next time there's a video. As I said, this is Cape Parrot, Macy. One difference is that Cape Parrots are sexually dimorphic. When they reach some, not exactly sexual maturity, it's almost like their teenage years, because the males will lose the pre-coloring, I call the chapeau, the salmon on the head. The males will lose that and the females retain it. She is doing a great job of showing you her high noise level. She's a little nervous out here. It's getting ready to rain. I know it doesn't quite look like it in the video. Oh, but she'll take some pets. Look at that. Let's move the camera so that you could see that she's taking some pets. So, first I'm going to tell you about the similarities, and then I'm going to tell you about some of the differences between a Golden Conure and a Cape Parrot. Golden Conures, which are New World parrots, which means they're from Latin America, versus Cape Parrots, which are from the African continent, which means that they are tropical parrots. Even though they are from 2 very different continents, one thing that's really interesting is that both of these species have really big beaks, which you can't really see. Oh, there you go. Good, I got her to show you a little bit. And which you'll see in my Golden Conure or Queen of Bavaria in a few minutes. They both have really big beaks, and that is a signal that they are both really big nut eaters. In the wild, Cape Parrots would eat from their natural habitat, and I understand that they eat hard fruit from the yellow tree, I believe, and that they live in forests and live up high. In the wild Golden Conures, because they're in Latin America, I think they're going to have very different nuts kind of thing. And so that's kind of interesting. But in captivity, it means that I feed both of these species, because they both have such big beaks, I feed them both nuts, almonds, walnuts, pistachios, sometimes hazelnuts, sometimes macadamia nuts. We like to vary it, but I will tell you that one thing that's really interesting is that macaw parrots are the only ones who can break a walnut open, with the exception of this monster beak right there. She's facing me, and so she's not facing the camera. Oh my goodness. It's really cool to see my Cape Parrots, and I've seen my males. I don't know if my females can quite do it, but you know, they take this walnut that's like this big compared to them, and they crack it open. It's just, that's amazing. With the macaws are so much bigger, you're like, okay, and they have a really big beak, but you know, the capes are much smaller than them, so their ability to crack a walnut open is phenomenal. So that's one of the similarities. These are both parrots whose diet is going to be fresh vegetables every day, and you want to get beta carotene in there. Pellet for their main food, because pellets are designed to have like everything that they need in there. I find that they stay pretty darn happy and healthy that way. And then number 3, for these 2 species, they are going to require some additional nut fat, and so like I said, they get some nuts. So that's a similarity, because I can feed both of my species, both the Golden Conure or Queen of Bavaria and the Cape Parrot, the same diet. Another similarity, even though these are 2 parrot species, They're both pretty quiet species. It doesn't mean that you don't hear them. It means that compared to your typical squawky macaw or Amazon, even some conures are really loud, and if you have a cockatoo, forget about it. You're going like deaf. Compared to your typical like loud parrot, these are birds that are not loud at all. Come here, Macy. Come here, sweetie. No? You're gonna walk off on me? Come here, come here. There you go. Here. Can you sit on my shoulder? You wanna be there with me? Thanks, love. You want some more pets? You want some more pets? You want some more pets? Another similarity, in addition to being pretty quiet, these are two species that aren't very bitey. Now I'm going to compare that, and I don't know, maybe this is the other end of the spectrum, but my parrotlets, especially when they're young, and my green cheek conures, they're bitey. They go through a biting phase, kind of like the terrible twos with babies that bite you. Or they're not, maybe not bite you, but they're teething and they bite. Those birds go through a biting phase. Whereas I haven't found that with my Cape parrots and with my golden conure. I'm actually really surprised because for me, it's kind of amazing that that huge beak could actually belong to a bird that's like basically never bitten us. Sure, they'll give you what I call a beaking, which is kind of like a nip, like back off, but they just, my experience with mine is they seem to really, I don't know if you could say they're really conscious of their ability to bite or what it is, and they therefore don't do it. I'm sure that if they were scared to death or if they felt really threatened, they would hurt you with their bite. But at home with our guys in our flock, not a problem. So this is another reason these two species are phenomenal to me. All right, so here is Bonnie Rose, my golden conure or Queen of Bavaria. Now, another difference between the golden conures and the Cape parrots is that I'm going to say that the Cape parrots do show some leaning towards being a one-person parrot. When they're young, if you have the whole family handle them, I think that that can either be minimized or maybe not really show kind of thing. Some of our Cape parrots are nice with all of us and comfortable with all of us. At least one of them, Macy, who I just had. I'm her person and I'm her one person, and therefore she's not really willing to befriend other humans. Now, that's a really big difference because golden conures are the opposite. They are extremely social. If one of my parrots comes out, one of the first things Bonnie tries to do is befriend them. They are communal breeders, golden conures, and that means that they don't necessarily just make one bond. They kind of are open to having their flock, and they bond with their flock. When you translate that into having a pet at home, it means that this is like the only bird that my daughter wants to inherit. Not the only one, but this is the one that she's like, she's my favorite. Why? Because Bonnie is so sweet and so friendly. I'm going to say that another difference is that in the temperament, the Cape parrots are a little more aloof, which sort of seems very typical of parrots from the African continent, and it's kind of really nice because they're just kind of chill. They don't freak out very easily. I'm not saying Bonnie freaks out easily, but I am saying that she's a little more active. I want to say that she's a little more energetic, and my daughter feels like she's a little more friendly. I don't exactly, I don't think I would say Bonnie is more friendly than the others. I would say the Bonnie's more friendly in the sense that she's more communal and therefore more social. I feel like the characteristic of being a little more aloof comes off as maybe not being quite as friendly, but I do think that she is. And now you're getting a really good view of Bonnie up close. That's my golden conure and my golden bliss. All right, so I hope that gives you some good ideas on the difference between the two. Like I have said, they are two of my favorite species. Come here, sweetie. They're just phenomenal. They are not easy to find. They are parrots that Golden Conures don't breed, I don't think, very readily, and they're hard to raise. So they're not easy to find. Cape Parrots are rare. And therefore, you know, you can try to contact a breeder and get one from a breeder. But I actually don't really know any breeders who sell them directly. Generally, the breeders don't go there. They just deal with selling them in stores. So that does mean that, generally speaking, it seems to me that if you're after a Golden Conure or a Cape Parrot, you're going to be paying retail. I also think that they're really worth it. They're incredible. You could see her noise level. It doesn't mean that she's not noisy. Any parrot can make sound, of course. They can make a lot of noise as well. It's just these aren't the squawky parrots that are going to make you go deaf or anything like that. I feel like they're a lot easier to live with from that perspective when they have their flock. And what I mean by that is that any parrot, I think any animal that is a social animal that's left alone all day while you're at work or something like that, is not going to be a happy animal, and they can then scream and complain, and that's not untypical of a parrot. On the other hand, if they have a cage mate and they're happy, they have their flock, and you can be a part of their flock too, then they are very possibly and likely to be happy and you know, not be really squawky. I mean, and that's part of why Bonnie is the way she is. The last difference, and the last thing I'm gonna say that I think is a really big difference, and that could be a make it or break it kind of thing for you. Bonnie does say bon bon, because we go, hi Bonnie, bon bon, so she'll go bon bon. But she says it in her Golden Conure voice, which we're used to hearing, so we kind of go, oh, she said bon bon. And I think she also says, what are you doing? Or, you know, something like that, again, because I'm used to hearing it. If you heard it, you'd be like, Kaylin, come on now. I mean, like, I don't know if you'd be able to discern it. The Cape Parrots, on the other hand, they can pick up language and talk more clearly. And so if you are going to teach your parrot to talk, and an African gray or an Amazon, they can just pick up English words, but other species generally, or a cockatoo, other species generally, you'd have to really teach them. Yeah, just don't hit the stop button, not quite yet. So if you're going to practice teaching your parrot how to talk like your Cape Parrot, their English is going to be more understandable, and my observation is that they're going to pick up more English than the Golden Conure will. So that's another thing, like if talking is a big thing for you, lean towards the Cape. Otherwise, there you've got several similarities, a few differences in personalities. If you want more of a family pet and you have young kids, you might be better off with that Golden Conure, because the Golden Conure, like I said, is going to be more friendly and more communal. And so, like with kids, it might be better for bonding with the whole family, that kind of thing. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Thank you for catching my bliss. I hope it's contagious. Go give your parrot a hug for me. And then let me know how it goes. I love reading your posts. I love reading about what you're experiencing or what you're thinking about getting, anything that you're going through with your parrot. And if you want to help support your parrot's immune system, make sure to get Tink's must-have parrot relief, which is CBD in hemp oil, on parrotbliss.com. And I will catch you in the next blissful, feathered, loving video. This parrot is all love. That's another difference. I'm not saying the capes aren't. I'm saying this is the embodiment of love. When the universe, life, or whoever you think created parrots was creating parrots, this one was made out of pure love. I'm surprised she's not pink. Apparently, in the world of feathers, love is golden. Thanks, and I'll catch you next time.